What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So this week, both Daniel and Chris were unable to make it, vacations and families and things like that. So it's just me and Shannon again, and we're back from our hiatus. So I had a bit of storm weather that delayed a lot of the episodes, right? So we survived back-to-back hurricanes down here. Prayers out for all those who are still being impacted by it, but luckily we are back up and running. So definitely check out all of our content. I'm sure the consistency will go back up now that we have made it out. We produce about 16 to 20 episodes a month, so it's plenty of content for you to go back and check out. Over 650 episodes. Hit us up by all the websites that go by our name: The Other Side of the Firewall, The Other Side of the FW, or Ask a CISSP. And yeah, check us out for the rest of the week. Monday, Tuesday are topics. Wednesday, discussion. Thursdays is normally Ask a CISSP. Check out the one with Dr. T from last week. She's repped in tech, and it was an amazing episode, if I do say so myself. And then Fridays, everything else, so movies, books, games, all that good stuff. But without further ado, I'll give it a shout.
All right, everybody. So this article comes from bleepingcomputer.com, and the title of it is How to Leverage $200 Million FCC Program Boosting K-12 Cybersecurity. All right, so this is the stuff we love to see, right? The Federal Communications Commission, FCC, they launched a K-12, right? So kindergarten through 12th grade cybersecurity pilot program, right? And so this initiative is backed by $200 million in funding, right? So this is a good thing, $200 million in funding to help libraries and schools that are underfunded when it comes to cybersecurity get to a level that is more, I don't want to say manageable, but makes them more secure, right? Because we're starting to see like some of these ransomware gangs, like they have no conscience when they're going after hospitals and schools and governments when it comes to getting information. And so they're trying to do a good thing here, right? But here's my, I don't want to say it's an issue with it. I love the initiative, don't get me wrong, but what you need to do to navigate the application process can be a little bit much, right? Because if you're helping out, if you're trying to get to a point where these schools have a good cybersecurity posture, more than likely they are underserved schools, right? Whether it be in a community that just doesn't have the money for it or whatever it may be. But in order for you to prove that you require this assistance, you have to have an evaluation. You have to do an evaluation of your cybersecurity posture, right? And that could be one of those things where it can cost a little bit, right? Like there are companies out there that will offer these services to you and they'll do it and whatnot, but some of them are subscription based, right? And when I just did a quick lookup, on them, you're averaging, let's say about $9, $8 or $9 per endpoint, right? So when you start thinking about this, right? And I say this having two younger children that are still in school, the way that they do business now is there is a lot of technology that's loaned out to these children, right? Throughout the year, right? So that's an you got everything that if they still have like computer labs, I don't know if they still have computer labs or not, if they're still doing this. I'm not sure, right? I grew up in a computer lab, but I don't know if that's still working for schools, you know what I mean? But
Apple IIe.
Right.
Oregon Trail,
yeah. But like you would have those endpoints you'd have to secure, right? And then you have the personnel that work in the school, right? Like you have your teachers that have them in their rooms. You have the office staff that have them, right? So like just a quick math type thing, right? So like if you have an elementary school, this was just me doing it in my head, right? You're looking at an extra, and I know this number doesn't sound like much, but probably $3,500 a month if you're subscribing to the subscription service, right? But if you're an underserved school, where are you getting that money from, right? They're already cutting programs for things they can't afford, right? They're cutting their arts, you know what I mean? They're cutting their music because it's just stuff that they just can't afford anymore, right? So in order for you to prove that you need cybersecurity help, you have to do an evaluation to show where you're lacking, and you just may not have the money to do that, right? So even though this is a good program, and they're going to spread this $200 million over several years, some of these institutions may not be able to accomplish that goal. And it's kind of sad to see, right? So like, if it said something along the lines of, hey, we'll provide the evaluation, set up a time for us to come in, do what we need to do or something along those lines, that would be even better, right? But I realized how unrealistic that is when you're talking about K through 12, right? So you're talking kindergarten through 12th grade, right? So that's a wide swath, you know what I mean? Especially in the Americas here, where we have a lot of schools, a lot of children, you know what I mean? But I like the idea behind the program, right? Like, so when you do this cybersecurity audit, you're evaluating your cybersecurity measures, you're identifying gaps, you're assessing the risks, right? You have to develop a cybersecurity improvement plan, right? So like the gaps that you have, how are you going to improve on that? You have to document the needs. You have to say, okay, with the money that you would give to us, we would do this, right? This is the need that we would require, right? And this is how it'll improve our security posture, right? And you have to prove it's sustainable, right? So this isn't like an unfunded request where you're trying to get money, come September to be like, hey, I need to spend this extra money or whatever. You're like, no, this is the goal to do this. This is sustainable, something we can do every year. This is what we would spend it for, right? Now, how long that goes, I'm not sure, right? Like if it's once this $200 million runs up, are they like, okay, we're not going to do it? Or are they going to go to Congress to be like, hey, we need to put $200 million more dollars into this or something like that, right? So I don't know. I like the program, but the fact that I think schools and libraries that may really require this are underfunded may lead to it not being as utilized as I would like to see it be. But Ryan, what's your thoughts on this?
No, I definitely see your perspective. You make a lot of really good points. So before I do that, so please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff that gets us more visibility. So again, we make a lot of content every month, so we would like for more people to be able to view and see it. And that is happening the past couple months. I don't know what is going on, but it's one of those things where we surged again. I don't know where the traffic's coming from. I can't figure it out. Analytics are not telling me. But we're almost 2,000 downloads this month alone. And we're only like midway through, and we didn't make that much content because of the storm. So thank you to all those who continue to spread our content amongst the interwebs. But with that being said, so this reminded me of a previous episode. So we kind of talked about how RIT, so Rochester Institute of Technology, had a clinic that they set up. It was funded by grants, and it served the purpose of creating a training pipeline for future cybersecurity analysts and things of that nature. And then it served the community by going about and doing things like this, doing assessments on underserved and small businesses in the local area. Hopefully there's some overlap in this type of situation. Like, I don't know how far and wide the RIT program has spread. I don't know if other colleges are doing it, but if there could be some kind of synergy in that way, I think that this would definitely work out. Because it's got to be grant funded, right? It's got to be the government stepping in, or volunteers seeking experience, or the government tackling it in both directions, right? Funding schools and universities to go out and do this work for this to make sense, right? Because like you said, it's going to be kind of hard for these institutions to A, come up with the money, and then B, the manpower to do it, right? So it's hopefully there's something set up like that. I can't find anything on the other end, right? Where maybe CISA has something implemented, or local governments have something implemented where they can pair and assessors and things of that nature with these schools, because I think that would be phenomenal, actually. But yeah, if it's only going in one direction, it's going to be kind of hard to make it happen, because how do you find the person to do the thing? And then, like you said, where's this extra money come from? Because I think your estimate is rather conservative, the $3,500 a month. I think it'd be even more expensive than that.
It could be, right? Like this was
Yeah,
just me looking around, seeing like this is what they charge and whatnot.
right.
And I didn't. I just again quick math, right? I probably shouldn't have done it in public because then somebody
No,
else will
you
sit
did
down
a
and do
great
it and
job.
be
I
like,
could not have done that.
oh my gosh. Yeah.
I'd have been like 45,000. So no, I think like somewhere between what your number came up with and a little bit higher, just because they give out a lot of equipment nowadays to these kids, especially at post COVID. They're like, here's a tablet, and then don't do X, Y, and Z. And kids are so smart, they're able to circumvent all of that. Well, they over here playing Roblox, they're supposed to be doing math. So I think it's a really good initiative, and I hope to see that next year when we bring this topic up again, it's 400,000, right? They're tapping into more of those infrastructure, and what was it? It was critical infrastructure and something else bill that was like the Biden administration. Hopefully, tapping into some of those funds as well to make it happen. Because yeah, every administration so far since the Clinton era, and we continuously say this, has kind of built up more of a initiative to secure our critical infrastructure protecting our, in this case, schools and kids and things of that nature, creating new rules like the FCC rules for colleges, right? That's real big right now, where because those public institutions do have a lot of PII and they take government funds, they have to protect the student data and information, right? You got your GLBA compliance, so Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, so it's Federal Trade Commission. So the FTC set that one up where there's new rules for colleges and institutions, things of that nature, because they do take government money and then they also have PII. So you have to better secure your private data and things of that nature. So a lot is changing for the better for these institutions. So I'm glad to see that some of this is starting to trickle its way down to K through 12, because like those kids are also susceptible. We saw in, was in Michigan, where they sustained a huge breach and kids' data and information was being leaked. To the extent of it actually had like behavioral issues and things like that were also being put out there to the public, right? Because ransomware criminals have no ethics, so they don't care about these kids, right? They just want that money. So I say all they say. I think it's a great initiative, but like I agree with you, it's going to be a struggle for these underserved, underprivileged schools to make this happen. So hopefully there are some kind of safety net set up or some kind of other program that helps them to be able to meet these requirements and to be able to do this as well. So and I guess we will see.
And I hope they run through the money quick, right? Because that would show the need, right? Like if that 200 million dries up quickly, then they'll have to come back. The FCC will have to come back and be like, all right, we need more money, right? Whether it be they lobby Congress for it or whatever they're getting it from, right? To be like, all right, they ran through that very quickly because they say it's going to be spent over several years, right? They don't give a specific timeline, but if in 2 years they run through it, they're like, okay, there's a need, right? Like we doled the money out based off what we saw and based off what we asked for. So, yeah.
No, hopefully. So we'll see. Because I'm sure there'll be a follow up next year to talk about how much was spent, and where it was spent. Right, there should be kind of survey or something like that to justify the budget and the spending. Hopefully before next October, because that's the fiscal year, right, for the government. So
yeah,
October 1st.
If we can get the budget down right and not be on a CR, but we'll see.
That's a whole different problem. Like your job is to pass a budget. It's your sole job. It's your purpose. This is why your institution was created. What do you not do every year? Pass a budget. What? Like somebody needs to audit you, but I digress. So definitely continue to check us out. Hit us up by all the websites. Go by our name, the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or ask CISSP. We are a proud product of RAM Cyber Consulting and Assessments LLC. So hit up ramcyber.io or give me if you want to send me an email at rwilliams@ramcyber.io. Hit me up personally. I'm right security guy pretty much on every platform. I'm more active on LinkedIn than anywhere else. Shannon is in incognito mode in real life, so don't hit him up. But look up Daniel as well as on the interwebs and continue to support us. We greatly appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. So stay safe, stay secure.